Hello, Minakaja here, and welcome to my channel. I'm a little bit late on the draw, but I'm going to be reacting to the official gameplay video of Dragon Age Veilguard that they released about 2 weeks ago now. I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on what the game could bring, some things that I'm hoping to see between now and the game release, as well as in the final product. I am going to be doing a complete Dragon Age playthrough on my channel, beginning with Origins. If that is something you are interested in, check out the link for part 1 in the description down below. If you like this video, give it a like, comment your opinions, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you turn on notifications so you don't miss other videos like this. And without further ado, let's get into it. This is your first look at Dragon Age: The Veilguard. The following footage was captured from software in development and takes place very early in the game. It has been edited for brevity and to avoid any major spoilers.
I hope Nev's as good at finding people as you claim.
She's the best damn detective I've ever met. If she says she's got a lead on Solus, I believe her.
Oh, wow.
Should we be in more of a hurry to get out of here?
We don't want to look conspicuous. Just get out of here nice and casual. Find Nev Gallus and stop Solus.
This is Rook, a level 1 rogue. We have the traditional 3 classes that are in the other Dragon Age games. We have Mage, Rogue, and Warrior. It doesn't come as a surprise that they're going to be branching out to new areas with the subclasses. They did the same thing between Origins to Dragon Age 2, Dragon Age 2 to Inquisition. It's kind of expected. They want to bring something new and flashy that's going to really entice people to explore something that they haven't necessarily played before. They have chosen the backstory of the Shadow Dragons. I don't know too much information on each faction, as I've been trying to avoid spoilers to give an honest reaction to this trailer and to some of the new information that's going to be released here in the next couple of weeks. But I do know that it is one of multiple backstories. It's not a single locked in backstory. I'm curious if perhaps race will play into which backstories are available to you, or if it's something that's available no matter which of the 4 races you play as, because we have confirmation that you can play as Kunari, Dwarf, Human, and Elf, with subclasses of Mage, Warrior, and Rogue. As we know, dwarves cannot be mages, so I'm just curious if that's going to play into you can be a part of this backstory or you can't be a part of this backstory based upon some sort of racial block, essentially. We have the ability to create a custom appearance for Rook. With that being said, I know that, like a lot of other people, I'm very curious to see just how far that customization is going to be able to go. Inquisition didn't do a bad job with the customization that was available. It was released about 10 years ago now, so I'm hoping that with next-gen consoles, new technology, higher graphics, they'll be able to expand how far you can customize your character even farther. Speaking of appearance, we've seen it multiple times before, both from other game studios and BioWare themselves. The first initial trailer that is released regarding the game is usually not anything like what the final product looks like. With that said, I did have hesitations about the style that they used in the character trailer, and I had some reservations about whether it was going to carry over into the game or if it was just a stylization choice for that trailer. And from what we can see here in this gameplay video, it was very clearly just for that character trailer. On the subject of appearances, however, they've changed Varric's appearance quite a bit, and it's not bad necessarily, it's just distinctively different from how we've seen him in the previous 2 games, and it's an appearance that people know. I think that with time I'll be able to appreciate the design more. Veilguard is supposed to be set, I believe, almost 10 years. I might be wrong about that. It's set years after Inquisition, however. His hair is darker, he now has a beard. It doesn't look like he has any chest hair, and he doesn't have any of his piercings anymore. It does make me wonder that if we see any other characters from previous games, someone like Dorian or Zevran or even maybe Fenris, just how much their appearances might have changed as well.
You still think you can talk him down before he starts his big ritual?
That ritual is going to tear down the veil. The only thing separating us from the Fade and an endless number of demons. I have to talk him down.
Or try.
Halt!
Wait! But I didn't do anything!
Get down.
Are they after us? Is it because of the bar?
Word travels fast in Minrathous.
We've got to help her.
We don't have time to get arrested, especially...
Oh. Well, that's not good.
Oh, crap.
We're too late.
The ritual started. But if we hurry, we can still stop Solus before it finishes. Let's go! Harding's this way. She'll get us to Dumont Plaza.
Watch out!
Is that a rage demon?
Is Solus summoning demons on purpose?
My guess is the veil is weakening, and they're slipping through the cracks.
And when the veil comes down completely?
Then the whole world is going to look a lot like this.
I presume this is a pride demon.
Come on, this way. It should get us to Harding.
You're safe now. Get inside and bar the doors quick as you can, okay?
Thank you, miss.
Harding, you all right?
I've been doing what I can to help.
Lace looks absolutely amazing, and I'm really glad that she was brought back as a character from Inquisition, because she was a good character, and it was really kind of a shame that we didn't get to expand more on her backstory or have her in the party at all or do more with her as a character. And I'm really excited that we'll be able to delve into her backstory and her as a character, because I think there's a lot of potential there, and I believe that she is romanceable. Hopefully it's much more in-depth than the brief bit that you could have in Inquisition if you manage to play your cards right. From what I have seen so far and some guesstimations, it looks like they have changed the designs of the demons as well. It looks like we saw a rage demon, a pride demon, and possibly a shade or a wraith. I'm going to assume that some of the designs, like in Inquisition, there's going to be a broader class system for demons where you have one design, but then color differentiates what subclass they are in the generalized types of demons. It's hard to say for certain. I'm sure as they reveal more for the games, it will be revealed whether that's a possibility or not. But just like Varric's appearance, it's kind of an abrupt shift from the previous games, because since Origins, some of the demons have not changed in appearance at all. For instance, the rage demons are usually a type of sludge monster that is similar to a regular shade, but it has more color in its design. It's much more vibrant, more almost fiery in aspect, and it's a similarity that's shared, but there's the finer details that differentiate it from a regular shade. I think it's safe to bet that that's probably something that's going to happen again. The question is just how exactly would it be differentiated for certain.
The ritual must be weakening the veil. There are a lot of scared people out here.
And a lot of demons. Haven't seen this many come through the Fade in years.
What about you two? Are you okay?
Oh, the dialogue wheel.
We're good, but we need to move.
Agreed. Solus isn't waiting, neither can we.
Have you got my gear?
Right over there. Where's Nev Gallus? Wasn't she at the meeting point?
The Venatori got to her first. They grabbed her before we arrived and paid off the bar owner to keep it quiet.
I'm not surprised our detective did something to piss off a cult of murderous blood mages, but their timing stinks. The bar owner said the Venatori took Nev to Dumont Plaza. Can you get us there, Harding?
Rook, you're with the Shadow Dragons. I figured you'd know Minrathous better than I do.
Sure, but Minrathous is huge, and this is nowhere near my neighborhood. I can try.
Don't worry, scouting's my specialty. Follow me.
Eyes up. We've got company.
Demons, here they come.
So it looks like with the rogue class, you don't have to switch weapon sets to be able to use a bow. It is just automatically equipped, and you have arrows that will replenish, but if they run out, you can't use them anymore. I'm curious if that would mean that there isn't an archer class anymore.
I think that's the last of them.
Good. Let's get to Dumont Plaza and find Nev. Patch
Oh.
yourselves up if you need it.
There's a lot of rats.
You are in violation of Imperial order.
I don't get it. If Solus tears down the Veil, doesn't that destroy everything?
Solus always talked about how beautiful the ancient world was.
That world existed before the Veil, and he wants to bring it back.
I think Solus was always clear that it didn't matter the cost. He had to bring the Veil down. He had to fix his mistake. That's all there was to it. I think it's safe to say he doesn't care much for the destruction that could fall upon the world as it is, or how many people will wind up as casualties. If he can bring the Veil down, no cost is too high.
Even if his ritual kills us all in the process. Venatori cultists!
Also, it looks like we now have a
I
parry
hate these assholes.
feature. Yeet!
Looks like the Venatori put up a barrier to block the way.
More intruders!
Avenge our fallen brethren!
I wonder if you can get some sort of perfect parry and get a bonus to attack or defense. And these spells look like they're new, possibly a new subclass or specialization that wasn't available before.
All citizens must remain indoors until the magical anomaly is fully contained.
Is that Dorian? It sounds like it is.
Oh, come on. Guess we're sliding down.
They're allies of Neb Gallus! Kill them all!
So we have the ability wheel. Along the bottom, it looks like are perks that are going to be readily available to be used. And off to the side, I'm not sure if those are other skill trees that we will unlock for ourselves later, or if there's something to do with your companions, similar to how you had the abilities in Inquisition. And the bar at the top, I'm not sure if that's just to balance out the design, or if that's also something with companions that might be unlocked later in game. I personally don't much care for the very technical aspects of commanding my allies, telling them where to go in the battlefield, telling them what to do. It's useful in certain situations, but I personally don't use the playstyle that often. However, I know that there's plenty of people that do, and it is definitely going to impact how they feel about the game and how playable it is to them. Looks like static strikes. Damage 121, the cost is not visible. Fires 2 bolts, each dealing damage independently but traveling along the same path. Applies the weakened status effect. I'm curious if that means that you have to use these to attack one singular enemy, or if you could use it to attack multiple enemies so long as it's in the same generalized direction. From the sounds of it, you couldn't fire one bolt off in front of you and then completely turn around and fire something off behind you. But if your character doesn't really have to move that much, could you fire a bolt and then turn a little bit to another direction and fire another one? That would be really useful to be able to do something like that. However, if this is anything like the energy barrage ability that you have in Inquisition, it will probably all just focus on one enemy.
Thedas. The Veilguard own these streets.
Their swords look so cool.
Veilguard, take your revenge!
Okay. So it seems almost like an AoE type thing, where if somebody's in the direct path of where you're aiming, they'll be hit. On the subject of the weapons, I really hope that they take the opportunity to further expand on what we have available as weapons and armor. Where we're in a new area that we've never been to before, I think it's the perfect opportunity. They did that with the Kunori armor and some of the Avar armor in Dragon Age Inquisition, so I think that there's a possibility that they might. I do think that it would be a opportunity to introduce some new designs and new concept to the game, kind of refresh some things that might become repetitive with them being the same between the games. Okay, so it looks like the green jars regenerate your health potions, maybe? Is she missing her right leg below the knee?
Alright, hiding. Not the worst timing.
Nev, it's so good to see you. We thought the Venatori had kidnapped you.
They thought the same thing. A lot of Venatori in the city have reason to hate me. Figured I'd play along. Find out who wanted to settle the score this time. Then the sky started raining demons, so I'm back on the job.
Appreciate it. Rook, this is Nev Gallus, our local expert. She's gonna help us find Solus. Nev, meet Rook. Both of you have done some work for the Shadow Dragons.
Isn't that a coincidence?
Some old friends said if I was working in Tevinter, the Shadow Dragons are worth trusting.
Is that a reference to Dorian?
We haven't got a lot of time. Varric said you had a lead on Solus?
A few things real fast. First of all, I love Nev's design, and it looks like she is missing her right leg below the knee, which I think is amazing to see the inclusivity of it. There's games out there that have characters with disabilities, but frequently they're side characters that you just kind of run into, and you don't always see it as a major character who's kind of front and center. So I think it's really interesting to see that. I also absolutely love her armor, and that just kind of goes along with opportunity for them to expand the designs and explore new things. On that subject, her wand is so cool, and I really hope that Rook has an option if playing as a mage class to equip a wand. It would be fascinating to see it take a turn towards maybe Diablo 3, where you can equip something in each hand as a mage class. Maybe a source in one hand and a wand or a sword or something in the other, instead of just the traditional staff. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with that. Maybe give you the option to class into something more of like a spell sword or something that's a little more combat oriented, while also giving you the chance to be a mage, because we haven't really seen anything like that in any of the previous games. The closest that we got was the Arcane Warrior in Origins and the Knight Enchanter in Inquisition. And Arcane Warrior allowed you to equip most weapons and armor. I want to see something like that again. It would be a good way to allow some more immersion for players to really fine-tune it to something that they really enjoy. So far, it seems like the dialogue wheel is pretty accurate on what is displayed on the screen and how it is delivered and what is said. It's kind of a BioWare thing at this point that most people really expect. What is displayed does not come across as how something is said or what is said. And while it's kind of a quirky BioWare thing that everybody expects and jokes about, it's frustrating sometimes because it can really affect the immersion of your gameplay, and it also impacts the approval and disapproval rating of some of your companions, so it can have some longer term effects in your overall gameplay, which makes it frustrating more than it is fun or entertaining. And there's also room for interpretation within that, because not everyone is going to regard the dialogue wheel the same way. It could say something on the screen and everybody has the possibility to take it as a different meaning than what BioWare might have, and that's where some of it comes in, that it's not meaning what it says it means. And I think that that's where some allowances have to be made. It doesn't make it any less frustrating sometimes, but it is something that only so much can be done about it, unfortunately.
You get right to the point. I haven't seen Solus in person, but I did find hints of old magic, similar to what you get in elven ruins.
Makes sense.
I traced it to a building beneath Our Lady of Victory. That's where your man is hiding.
Then let's go, before this ritual he's doing gets any worse.
Worse, this ritual's already drawing more power than I'd expect from a dozen mages. You told me he was working alone.
I also told you he was an ancient elven god.
An elven god. Well, whatever he is, he's causing trouble in my city. Let's go.
Is Solus working alone? I think it's safe to say he's probably performing the ritual alone, but I don't think it's accurate to say that he's working alone, because he's had his spies, he's got his own network of things that have been worked on behind the scenes. I don't think that it would have been possible for him to do this completely alone. He had to have had assistance from somewhere, but it may just be referencing that he is the only one tearing down the veil, that there's nobody else helping him with that ceremony.
All citizens in the canal district must remain in their homes.
The team discovers Solus's hideout and an Illuvian gate, the portal he's used to escape the city of Minrathous. They step through the gate.
Well, we're not in Minrathous anymore.
I know these trees. This is Arlethan Forest.
And there's your ritual. The power involved. I've never seen anything like it.
This looks gorgeous. Perhaps one statue for each of the Elven Pantheon?
The tremors are getting worse.
And we've got demons.
So this is the first instance where we've seen a deviation in the demon's design, and it is in the coloring. It looks like they're the same otherwise, maybe a few variations here and there, but the color is going to be the main aspect that's different between them, it seems like.
And we've got demons.
thought the demons were bad back in Minrathous.
The Fade's a mess this close to the ritual. No telling what could come through.
Does it feel like those tremors are getting worse?
Keep moving and try not to think about it.
The team battles their way deeper into Arlethan Forest until they arrive at Solus's ritual site. Oh, that is 100% a Pride Demon.
We have to stop this demon quickly.
The ability wheel is used to issue commands and direct your companions, locked at this early point in the game. Okay, so the 2 off to the side is definitely for your companions. It's still uncertain what the top bar is, but I'm willing to wager that it probably has to do with your companions as well, and it's just locked at this point in the game as well.
Watch the lightning!
It's looking like instead of the chain whip that the demon had in Inquisition, it now has a sword and some sort of lightning AoE that you have the prompt to dodge or quick recover.
How did a demon this large get through the veil?
It's a pride demon. Damn thing probably sensed Solus's ego.
I'm pretty sure that Solus means pride, so it would be very fitting that a pride demon would be attracted to that.
Everyone all right?
Good enough. Let's get to Solus.
There he is.
All right. I'll take it from here.
Are you sure?
Positive. You 3 just keep the demons off me while I talk to him.
Varric, Solus isn't gonna stop just because an old friend asks nicely.
Solus needs someone to sell him another option, to help him justify changing his mind.
I don't think that's gonna work.
Come on, Varric. We didn't come all this way just to talk to him.
He was my friend, Rook. I've got to try to reach him. But if he won't listen to me, then he'll hear from Bianca.
I'm not certain that's a good idea.
More demons.
Rook, take care of the team for me.
Why does that sound like a goodbye?
Hey, Chuckles. Hope I'm not interrupting.
Let's buy him some time.
I hope Varric is getting through to Solus.
We better talk fast. We can't hold these demons off forever.
this world, it must be healed.
By drowning the world in demons?
I have taken precautions to minimize the damage, Varric.
Minimize the... People are dying right now. You need to listen. Please.
People are always dying.
That better not be foreshadowing. Varric, it's time to get Bianca and go. I think we need to skedaddle out of here. Get your shit, let's go.
It is what they do.
Shit. We need a better plan.
Do you want me to take the shot?
Won't work. He's too powerful.
What if we disrupt the ritual?
How?
See those statues? If we break the scaffolding holding that one up, the whole thing will come down on Solus.
It's risky. Interrupting a ritual of this scale will have consequences.
And what about the demons? Varric needs us to hold them off.
Right, you two stay here. I'll bring down the statue.
What? No. Stepping into all that raw magic is suicide.
The storm could tear you apart.
Anyone got a better idea?
Fine, but you'll need backup. I'm with you.
I'm a mage. I'll go.
Either way, someone needs to stay back and deal with the demons.
Choose wisely. Your decisions impact your companions? Oh man. I don't imagine that they would kill Harding or Nev this early in the game, as you can romance both of them. However, on that note, I have concerns that Varric might die with Bianca getting destroyed, how close he's standing to Solus and this ritual. Dwarf or not, that much raw magic can't be good for you. I also have some theories that Solus might die. With them changing the title of the game from Dreadwolf to the Veilguard, it seems plausible to be one of those situations where Solus was never the big bad. There's always something worse. There's always something bigger, something that you need to be concerned about more. This Solus was just a distraction, and I don't know if that's going to be in the form of the consequences that Nav mentioned. With us interrupting the ritual, we make everything go wrong, and that it had been a controlled situation beforehand, but now it is completely out of control. If Solus is going to die, if he's going to recognize how badly he fucked things up and come back to our side to try and help fix this. However, I don't see that being a possibility given how adamant he is that the veil has to come down. He said it, it's a wound that's been inflicted and it has to be healed. And in his mind, the only way to do that is to bring down the veil.
Let's go, Hardy. Nev, keep the demons off us.
You got it.
I really hope they put subtitles over this in the finished game so that we can hear what is being said, because I guarantee it's going to be important.
Stand your hesitance. What now must be done. Being cast to a comprehension.
Why tear down the veil? Knowing all the lives it'll cost.
We shared a journey years ago. Do you believe that I would do this if there was some other better option?
Yes.
The pillar's weak, but
It isn't falling. We need to push it.
I'm with you.
Together, now!
You came a long way and made a valiant effort, Varric, but this story does not end with my downfall.
Are you sure about that?
Push!
Veilguard, I would be leaving. What is that? What the fuck is that? Oh, bro, we're cooked. Is this a consequence of the ritual being interrupted? That's gotta be elven gods, right? It has to be. Were they just waiting on the other side of the veil this entire time? Oh man. They've always been a little fucked. But has being locked away behind the veil for however many thousands upon thousands of years twisted them into something else? They spent that long behind the veil, and like Solus, I'm sure they have a higher resistance to possession or the influence of demons. I can't imagine that being locked away that long with the demons and spirits being that potent, that it wouldn't have some sway over them. Are they possessed? Would that make a difference? And that also brings up, do the other gods know that Mythal is dead? Or is that still an unknown variable at this point? I can't imagine if they knew, they would be very pleased about it. That would probably call for retribution in addition to everything else. I'm very concerned for Varric with how close he is standing to this. I don't see how Solus could make it out of this unscathed. I'm sure that we did not see the full breadth of his power in Inquisition, but even so, doesn't seem any possible way that he would be able to survive this encounter. I'm curious to know if this is a consequence of our interference with the ritual, or if this is something that was just bound to happen no matter what with the removal of the veil. It could be a combination of both. This encounter between Solus and the Evanuris was inevitable. I think everybody expected that it was going to happen. There's no surprise that it is. However, it is intriguing that it is happening so soon in the game. There's going to be at least a whole half of a game left after this, if not more. There's so much happening here. I want to see how things expand, what they reveal in further trailers, what they reveal in further information releases, if any information gets leaked. But this does not bode well for anyone, least of all Solus. And I imagine that had he known this was the way things were gonna play out, he might have done things a little bit differently. I want to know where the rest of the Inquisition is. Liliana, Cassandra, or Vivienne are made divine. The rest of the Inquisition, I don't believe that any party members actually stayed with the Inquisition. Dorian returns to Tevinter, and I believe that we heard him making the announcements when the Fade was first ripped open. I want to know where Zevran is, because it was alluded to that he would be in Tevinter, so I'm very curious to see where that's gonna go. I'm curious to see if any of the other characters from previous games are gonna make an appearance. Fenris, Sten, I'm going to assume that Morrigan will. She did in Inquisition. She might have a larger part to play in this. It's hard to say for sure. On the note of where the rest of the Inquisition members are, I want to know who made the call to come to Tevinter. Was it Dorian riding to Varric? Did the Divine make this call? Were they just following the trail that Solus had left in an effort to stop him before the ritual could be performed? Or was this something that somebody decided specifically, no, Tevinter is the place that we need to be? I'm very excited at the thought of more information information being released, of seeing the upcoming trailers of any more gameplay that may be released, more articles that they're going to be releasing, information about the classes and specializations. I would like to see character arts, rendering sketches of what is to come, and I'm sure we will see some of that in the following months, but it is difficult to say specifically what they will reveal and what they're going to try and keep under wraps. Something else is, I know that there's lots of people who aren't necessarily happy with the way that this is turning out, and unfortunately that's just something that happens. It happened with Dragon Age Origin. People picked up the game, they liked it, they became a part of the franchise, they became part of the fan base. Between Origins and Dragon Age 2, fans were lost. They weren't happy with the way things were moving forward, however a fashion that means, whether it's story, character design, maps. There's always going to be people who aren't happy with it. That's just the way things are. However, with them expanding this and broadening their horizons about things, it offers new fans the ability to come in and enjoy something that they may not have previously had the chance to be a part of and enjoy. The same thing happened from Dragon Age 2 to Dragon Age Inquisition, and now from Inquisition to Veilguard. There is no feasible way to keep your current fan base happy enough to ensure that this is as successful as it could possibly be and appealing to new audiences at the same time. It's just not possible. There's just no way it could happen, and that's an unfortunate fact, and they have to try and think what is best for the future of this. It's possible that they may be making DLC. It's possible they may try to make more games after this. It's hard to say, and I think a lot of it will depend on how well the Veilguard does, but it is something to keep in mind with people being so clearly outspoken. With that said, I'm very, very excited to have the potential to be playing this game in the next 6 months. I think it's exciting. We've been waiting a long time for this game, and despite the things that have happened along the way, I think that it still has the potential to be a very good game. If you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for sticking around. And if you enjoyed, give it a like, leave your opinion in the comments, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you turn on notifications so you don't miss other videos. Be sure to check out my socials for updates and clips from videos, and I will see you next time.